I started the small group back in 1995. At a certain point, we decided that we should serve in some way. We kept trying different things, and we'd stick it out for the time that we were committed, and then we were really relieved when it was over. Willow had been talking about different ways that we could impact internationally, and they had brought up wells, making sure that people could get clean water. It just seemed like the best way to help lots of people. One of the ladies in the small group had this idea to make mittens. What if we make mittens, sell them, use the money to purchase a well? Right away, it just sounded like a really good idea. It took us a while to get going. It took us really a while to get the first pair of mittens made. The sewing was a problem. We had what one of our ladies referred to as burbles. There's supposed to be a rounded edge over the fingertips. There would be little bumps along the way. Or the thumb would be way too big. The cuff would be too tight or too big. You can do a lot of dreadful things with a pair of mittens. Feelings started getting hurt. Everybody was trying to do their best, and their best wasn't always appreciated. And I'm talking tears. We finally came up with a solution that when we felt like there could be better choices, we would say, I think we can do better. And it was always funny because the pair of mittens that I thought were the ugliest, that pair of mittens would get sold. And we finally came to understand that there's a pair of mittens for everybody out there. Sherry, it didn't take her long to start establishing a passion. And she would go to resale shops to get the used sweaters that we used to make our mittens, and she literally would fill her car up to the max where she wondered if she'd be able to get into it. She expected us to get 25 wells. Her goals always exceeded everybody else's. She thought big. She thought very big. I honestly thought it would take 10 years to purchase a well. They're $7,500 each, and we're selling these mittens at $25 a piece. So, do the math. Started out selling them to friends and family. I'd go to the bank and sell them to the tellers. We would walk in with our bag of mittens, and pretty soon all the tellers would be looking. They'd be laying out mittens, on the counters and fighting over them. People would buy them like popcorn. I mean, they couldn't buy them fast enough. I was putting the money into my freezer. Well, we didn't know we were going to make so much money. I knew I shouldn't put it into my checking account. I wanted to keep it separate. But then it was ending up being thousands of dollars in my freezer. I don't know what everybody else was thinking, but my mind was blown. It was like, oh, we have this money. Now we should get rid of it. We should do what we plan to do with it. We should go buy a well with it. And that's what we did. The first year, we were able to purchase 2 wells. We started doing home parties. We would make hundreds of dollars at one party. We started expecting to be able to purchase a well every year, and then the parties actually got bigger and bigger. There was one home party we had where we actually purchased 1 well. We made $8,000. We just felt God's hand on this ministry. We knew we couldn't have done this by ourselves. Sherry was the most passionate of all of us. There wasn't a surface in her home that wasn't covered by wool or mittens or buttons. She was creating new products, constantly bringing new ideas of how we could expand the ministry. There was no containing her. We lost her to cancer. In her honor, we pushed forward and got another well. Losing her has really affected our group overall, and we miss her terribly. Our Mitten ministry has been the difference maker in how close we are to one another. We've struggled through many things. Another member of our group, Mary, actually has been diagnosed with cancer, and we've walked with her through that. The ladies supported me when I went through a divorce, but then they supported me when I went through a courtship and a new marriage. We love each other. We've been through ups and downs together. We've had so much fun together. We wonder what we would do without each other. Sherry's goal was 25 wells, and unbelievably, we're halfway there. It just astounds us all. I don't know what God has in store for us, but I'm starting to believe Sherry knew what she was talking about.